If at any point we see the recording button off, scream in the voice of your favourite Banshee. Scream. I don't even mean necessarily for other people watching on YouTube, although they're obviously very welcome. I mean for your benefit to be able to go over it. Right. I'm just getting my thing that holds the phone so that I don't have to. Is everybody okay?
Oui.
Yeah.
No exciting news? Nobody pregnant? Nobody about to become a grandma? Nobody got a new job? Nobody? Brendan, you're not with child?
What about a death in the family?
You've had, oh, who's died? Who's passed?
My brother.
Oh, sorry.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry. How old?
I know. He was only 66. He died of a heart attack. Yeah. So the funeral was last week.
Sorry.
Oh my God. What
Really,
was his first name?
Mark.
Well, we offer up this class to Mark. Although he's in a better
Thank
place
you.
now, having fun with Elvis and Marilyn, but like
He is. He had some chronic pain issues and some issues, but yeah. Anyway,
so in a
thank
way,
you.
but we don't want to say a relief because obviously life is still precious. But I take your point. There's things he wasn't enjoying.
That's right.
Yeah.
He wasn't
Oh,
living
bless
life
him.
to the fullest. But yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Oh no. Well,
Yeah.
well. This is to Mark then, isn't it? Lovely.
Thank you.
Oh. Which is why you've got to grab your life with both hands. And if you get your ass on the French trip next year, we will all drink a glass of champagne to Mark. Shall we make a date to do that, shall we?
Yeah, that would be awesome. Yeah.
That'd be nice. We're doing this for, like, you know, this is why I'm not anti-life. I'm pro-life. I'm like, go, 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 grab, 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 do, do, do. All right?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Lovely. So, off we go. So the order that it's in the screen, hang on, I've got it in landscape rather than portrait today. Lovely. So let's start. Great. We've got no Brendan today. I do seem to remember him saying he couldn't come though, so that makes sense. 1 second. Let me just pop this in. Let me just slide there. 1 second. Good. So I'm going to go as I see you on the screen. Let's start with Brie. So Brie, I have a beautiful cup. I have a beautiful cup.
Cup?
Cup as in a mug. I have a beautiful cup. I have a beautiful mug. Yeah.
J'ai. Trying to think.
J'ai une.
I don't want to say.
Une belle tasse. J'ai une belle tasse. Somebody's banging around a bit. Could you just mind it, please? Because of Brie. If you're not.
Yeah. No, I think that's
getting a bit noisy. Yeah, could you say for me, Brie? So say for me, I have a beautiful cup.
J'ai un bel verre.
Un beau verre, but une tasse. Une tasse. Like coffee would be une tasse. Tea would be une tasse. Not un verre de vin. I mean, if you're drinking wine from a cup, you've got social problems. Un verre, but une tasse. So say for me, a cup of tea. Just say une tasse de thé.
Une tasse de thé.
So what you guys are looking at now is I'm going to say it. I'm not going to overly articulate the teeth. And you just copy it. Oui, une tasse de thé, une tasse de thé. Let me hear it. Une tasse de thé.
Une tasse de thé.
Lovely. Say for me, I have a beautiful cup. J'ai une belle tasse.
J'ai une belle tasse.
You don't want to go through French learning focusing on what the gender is. You want to go through French learning, I can't speak French. I can't speak English, I mean, because of French. You want to go through saying sentences where the word to the left and the word to the right kind of get your mouth used to saying belle tasse, une tasse, rather than, oh yeah, cup's feminine, all right? Good. Because one can read my first name. Because one can read my first name. Because one can read my first name.
Parce que l'un peut lire mon prénom. Prénom. Yeah.
Good. Remember, vowels have got a twang. So if it were pre, not that it is, it'd be pri, but it's not. It's prénom. On, one, on. It's not just we. It's not just we. It's one. one can read. So say to me, on peut lire mon prénom. On peut lire mon prénom. Go on.
On peut lire mon prénom.
Good. Lovely. Somebody gave it me 2 years ago. Somebody gave it me 2 years ago. And then the same person another year later gave me the same mug. But I've got two of them. So somebody gave it me a year ago.
Quelqu'un m'a...
Good. Now you're all pronouned and ready for somebody gave. But I want the it in there as well. What word it, or which word it am I going to use for a feminine cup?
La.
Spot on, well done, because they gave the cup to me. So quelqu'un me, it would be me la, but if it's gave, don't do that, Luke, your knuckles can't do it anymore. Quelqu'un me, what tense am I going to use, Brie, if I'm going with gave as an action? Actions have what?
Passé composé.
Yeah, but let's just think present in the middle, action auxiliary. Yeah, rather than calling it passive composite because it's just a bit academic. But yeah, so say for me, somebody gave me, say for me, somebody gave me it, somebody gave me it.
Quelqu'un me l'a donné. Me
2
l'a.
years ago. No, me l'a donné, because you're used to je l'ai, you're used to the I, but it's not je on this occasion, it's me l'a donné, lovely. So
Okay, yeah.
M-E space L apostrophe A donné. There'd actually be an extra E on donné, by the way, because they gave you a feminine cup, but don't worry about that for now. So quelqu'un me l'a donné, what would be 2 years ago?
Il y a 2 ans.
Good. Il y a 2 ans. So mouth closed. Quelqu'un me l'a donné il y a 2 ans. Quelqu'un me l'a donné il y a 2 ans.
Quelqu'un me l'a donné il y a...
Soften. Hon, 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 hon. Just say to me, hon, 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 hon. Just do that noise, hon, hon. Brilliant. That was really, really good. Now just soften your mouth and just go, quelqu'un me l'a donné, quelqu'un me l'a donné.
Quelqu'un me l'a donné il y a 2 ans.
Lovely. But can you hear you saying it's a bit hard. Here's a cue in French. Quelqu'un. Big E, small E. Small Q. Not quelqu'un, quelqu'un. E gets sung, the K is soft. Quelqu'un me l'a donné. Go on.
Quelqu'un me l'a donné
That's it.
il y a 2 ans.
Me l'a donné. Il y a 2 ans.
Il y a 2 ans.
Good. 2 ans, not des ans. Vowels count, guys. Yeah, 2 ans.
2 ans.
Good. Lovely, lovely. Susan, if we've said somebody gave it me, that's basically one of the ways that we can do the passive. Yeah. We didn't talk about the passive, did we? We've said that we were going to be doing it at some point. So the passive, yeah, is something we're going to gradually introduce. 2 things to consider with the passive, guys. Point number 1, is it a human thing that's being passived or is it a non-human thing? An inhuman. So for example, if I said I was promoted, do we all get first and foremost why that is passive? What, Susan, in the verb I was promoted is the verb? What's the verb in I was promoted?
No.
Good point. I didn't think about that. Other than the auxiliary verb was then. So what's the main action verb in I was promoted? I got promoted. What's the main verb there?
Oh, promoted.
Lovely, lovely. The first person you say, I, is the I doing the promoting? No. It's being done to the I. Therefore, that is a passive sentence. The castle got destroyed or was destroyed. Is the castle destroying anything? No. Therefore, that is a passive sentence. So very quickly, I'm just going to say, see, when you watch this back at about 9 minutes, you've got these in overview. When you're a human being, you can use the verb to be, but not with all verbs. And that is really annoying. So if you said, I got arrested or something like that, you can. But if you said something like, I was seen, imagine we're doing a surprise party for somebody. We say, oh, I was seen. We don't say I was seen. We say one saw me. So we do different passives differently, which is rather annoying. We've also then got the whole je me suis fait, which is the causative that we will talk about. So in other words, have a little watch of the passive video because it's next week's topic. Yeah, I'm just mildly introducing it, but I want to just have a bit more of a grammar, vocab, speak, everybody speak normally a bit this week. Yeah, so in other words, with people, you've got the option with be, So, for example, j'ai été. Notice we don't say I was. J'étais if you're referring to an action. Even though you're saying I was in English, because it's an action, what do actions have? Auxiliaries. So I got arrested. J'ai été. Somebody mind the banging if you don't mind. J'ai été arrêté. Je me suis fait arrêter, the causative option. I got myself arrested. Or one arrested me on map. Somebody's banging. Can you stop it? Somebody's banging or doing stuff, or what is it? Is someone in the background? Susan, if you don't divorce that motherfucker, I'm going to throw you out the class. Who the fuck is it? He's so annoying. Got no damn manners. Good.
No, there we go. I have to leave the room. Yeah, sorry.
No, he needs to leave the marriage. That's different. So off you go. So say for me, have him put down, just buy, look, you can order barbiturates off the internet really, really easily. In his copy, buy, job done. Okay, seriously. Okay. It's what your brother would have wanted. He'd be like, Susan, I'm whispering into your ears, get rid of that one as well. So off you go. Thelma and Louise it across the country, Susan. Get away from that. You don't want to live with that. So off you go. So say for me, just literally say for me, I know this sounds really stupid. All of you just say, I have been arrested. Just say it out loud. I have been arrested.
I've been arrested.
I have been arrested.
I made myself arrested.
I made myself arrested.
One arrested me. One arrested me.
One arrested.
One arrested.
Those are the ways to use the passive with a human being. Yeah. J'ai été arrêté. Je me suis fait arrêter. On m'a, or quelqu'un m'a, or ils m'ont arrêté. So somebody gave me this present. If I said it passively, I was given this present. Can you see how I was given is a passive sentence? Do we all get that that's a passive sentence?
Oui.
What's the easiest way to handle in French a passive sentence is to make it active. So she was arrested. Easiest way to make it a sentence in French is to go active and say they arrested her. Yeah, ils l'ont arrêté. So just bear that in mind. You might go, but Luke, if you say they, you might go, who the frick is this they? Who, when you say she got arrested, you're not saying who did it. We just assume, you know? We use this pseudo-medical legal they all the time in English, don't we? Like, you know, she had an operation, they managed to save the leg. Who's the they? All right, so that's just the first introduction with people with the passive. The introduction with non-people with the passive, we will use the verb to be again, much more freely, without worrying, much more freely without worrying. And we also do a little weird thing with the reflexive. So Coca-Cola is sold in France. We say Coca-Cola sells itself. So that's just another thing to do with the passive when it comes to a non-human. So just leave that there for now. Just wanted to plant the seed. Good. So Auntie Susan, do me some work. So say for me, Luke, I'm sorry, but the other person is very annoying. Off you go. Luke, I'm sorry, but the other person is very annoying. Off you go.
Luc, je m'excuse, mais...
Good. Je m'excuse, je suis désolé. I don't mind. Je m'excuse, je suis désolé. Lovely. I'm gutted, okay. Je suis navré. Sound gutted. Je suis navré. Je suis navré.
Je suis
navré.
Je suis navré.
That's it. Navré. Took you a while. Tune your ear into the vowels. Navré. Je suis navré.
Je suis navré.
Keep your ears tuned into the vowels. Je suis dégoûté. Je suis dégoûté.
Je suis dégoûté. Dégoûté.
Dégoûté. Dégoûté.
Dégoûté.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gutted, which literally means I'm disgusted. Yeah, je suis dégoûté. My team lost, whatever. I'm disgusted. I'm gutted. I'm just gutted any team's playing in a country which basically has no gay rights or female rights, period, quite frankly. Like, so, yeah. But yeah, the World Cup. So je suis dégoûté. Lovely. All right. Lovely. I'm going to move now. Quick reminder, different ways to move. What's the verb to move house, Auntie Susan?
Déménager.
Déménager.
Oh, déménager.
So your clever mouth is muscle memory, remembering. Amener, which is bring and take a person. Yeah? Yeah. Just don't put your hand out. Take something away. Say apporter. No, sorry. Take something away. Say emporter. Say emporter. With an E. Nice twang, Maddie. Nice twang. bring it back to you, say apporter. Apporter.
Apporter.
So E went away, A came back. Let's take a person. I'm going to take somebody to the airport. Emmener. Say emmener.
Emmener.
And I'm going to bring back with an A. So E-A, E-A. I'm going to bring a person. Amener.
Amener.
Nice twangs, nice vowels. Well done. Notice, guys, emmener and amener featured in the stem change video because we say amen and amen, not amun and amun. So we change the infinitive. We add a grave. Yeah? You can also have mener, je mène, which is to lead, like I lead an interesting life. Je mène une vie intéressante. So you have got that as well. So in other words, E goes away, A comes back is just quite a useful idea. But this time I want déménager. Déménager. Off you go, déménager.
Déménager.
Lovely. You might go, oh, God, he's speaking ever so quickly. No. Focus on the vowels. Don't focus on the lips. You'll be fine. Great. That's to move house. To move. Oh my God, Susan, is it alive? It's moving. Say to me, ça bouge. Bouge. Say bouge.
Bouge.
Lovely. Nice OU. So if you say, move your ass. Bouge ton cul. Say to me, bouge ton cul.
Bouge ton cul.
Now, because of your success with bouge, remember, there's no guarantee that the following syllable, let alone the next couple of syllables, will be in the same location. So do we want bouge ton cou or do we want bouge ton cul? Which did I say? Bouge ton cou, bouge ton cul.
Cul. Cul.
You're in the middle, you're in English. Say, okay, copy my vowel. Q, Q.
Q. Q.
That's
Q.
nice. Because coup, oh, it was a real coup. You know? Breeze Company took this over. It was a real coup. Okay, Q. Yeah, so Q, C-U-L means ass. Yeah, Q, not cou, which means neck. You don't say move your neck, do you? Say move your ass. Good. Then the more elegant verb to move is se déplacer, displace yourself. Yes, se déplacer. Okay, so we're going on va déplacer quelque chose, displace. All right, déplacer. Great. So say to me, Luke, I've moved. Je me suis déplacé. Notice what system, Susan, do we call it when we have a reflexive verb and it's in the action tense? We call it
poetry past.
That's it. So say to me, je me suis déplacé.
Je me suis déplacé.
Lovely. That was very good. Small mouth, more chest. Throw it away. Make it a blur. Ouais, je me suis déplacé. Make it a blur. Make it a blur. I'm not in any way, shape or form making light of the absolute hideousness of having had a stroke or some form of Bell's palsy or something. I'm really not. It must be so socially awful and our hearts go out to you. But if you kind of mimic this somebody who almost couldn't move their mouth even if they wanted to, feeling, that's a bit more French. Oui, alors je me suis déplacé. Je me suis déplacé. Not je me suis déplacé. I can't go that fast. Je me suis déplacé. Oui, alors okay, I can, but I shouldn't be able to say me. Ouais, je me suis déplacé. Ouais, je me suis déplacé. Go.
Oui, je me suis déplacé. Je me suis déplacé.
On this slide, it's on this slide that you need to decide where the consonants, so where the vowels are going. Oui, alors je me suis déplacé. Great, lovely. So that's the move. So Luke, how do you say annoying? What's the word for annoying?
Énervé.
That's the verb to annoy. Well done. What's the word for annoying? So sorry, I said what's the verb for annoying. What's the word for annoying?
Énerve.
That's the verb. Look at your inspiration. Annoying. Luke's a him, he. Okay, we're going to be pronoun friendly on YouTube now.
Oui.
So basically, so what's annoying for a him, he? Listen to the words I'm using in English. Annoying. Any ideas? This isn't just a Susan. Any idea what in grammar we call the ing? What's the ing? Sounds like a rapper, the mysterious, the infamous big. What do we call ing? The continuous or the gerund? The gerund. And as you know, what, Susan? How do you say the word interesting?
Intéressant.
Nice vowels. Go again. Your job is you've got nice vowels. Your job is to keep your teeth relaxed. C'est intéressant.
Intéressant. Intéressant.
So what was the ing that I achieved there? How did I achieve the ing? No. What was the last beat on intéressant? What was the last beat? Nice. Can you hear that fucking sound coming down the microwave? Down the microphone. That's fucking French. Oh, oui, à l'intéressant.
Oh.
That's the twang. Good. So annoying. Here's your inspiration.
Énervant.
Lovely.
Énervant.
Inspire. Inspirer is the verb. Inspirer. Luke he's annoying, but he's also inspiring. What would be inspiring? I'm male. What's inspiring? Inspire.
Inspirant.
Nice. What would be motivating? The verb to motivate is motiver. You probably all heard, oui, alors je suis très motivé. But what's motivating?
Motivant.
Good. Remember, guys, every single one of those has a female option. Énervante, motivante. Yeah. So the grammar of ANT is neutral. In speaking with Denise, I discovered en parlant, there's no parlante. But if you use your ing word as an adjective, it obviously then has the option to become feminized. And that will then obviously give me ante. Yeah, like it's, wow, it's crazy. C'est hallucinant, hallucinant. Yeah. Remember, after say, we always have the male adjective. Yeah. Always, always. If you mention a female thing, you can then use feminine, but you need to mention the female thing. Like, c'est une ville hallucinante. It's a crazy town. Wow. But if you say, always needs male. Good. Coming across to Denise. It makes it less expensive when you bring your own cup. I'm talking about Costa Coffee. £4, £4, £4 for a dairy-free latte. £4. You know, Starbucks in the States have done this thing where if you claim for medical reasons that you're just allergic, they don't charge you extra for non-dairy milk. And there's some chick in LA that basically went into a Starbucks and was like, oh, could I have a non-dairy milk, please? And some sassy, unasked guy, I think it's Santa Monica way, was like, yeah, whatever. And just gave her the normal dairy, like as in, well, whatever. She just wants to pay like whatever, less or something. And she had like a massive fit in the Starbucks. It was like a massive thing about 7 months ago. So yeah, but those of us that are allergic. So if I said it, so Denise, it makes it less expensive if you bring your own cup. Off you go.
So
Good. So what's your first choice of word?
Ça.
Good. Let's quickly make clear. The word it in French could be il, elle, I, on, ça, ce, le, la. Fuck me. The word for it is vicious, isn't it? Okay. Let's quickly divide those into different its. If you're talking about an it referring to a previously stated noun, we know the gender. So, for example, Denise has got a lovely dress for this award show thing she's going to, something, whatever. It is beautiful, referring to the feminine dress, elle est belle, because we've mentioned a previous noun. All right. Whatever, she's got a great bracelet or something that goes with it. It is beautiful because we're using an adjective. We're going to try and use the il, so il est beau. Yeah, we can use c'est beau, looking at said bracelet, often used if no one has said the word as well. So if you say, Lukey, do you like my kitchen? Do you like my living room? Do you like my bathroom? So if you say, Luke, est-ce que tu aimes ma cuisine? I've just repainted it. You've said the word ma cuisine. So I'm then going to go, yes, it's beautiful, referring to cuisine, elle est belle. I'll use an elle. Otherwise, I'll use, yeah, oui, alors c'est beau. You say, Luke, come and look at this, come and look at this. I follow you in, you open the door and I go, oh, wow, it's beautiful. Without having stated a noun, I'm more than likely going to say c'est beau, like a feeling, c'est beau. Like I was just saying before, if I said it's a beautiful kitchen, c'est une belle cuisine. So I will go back, I'll stay with say and go with une. If I'm in a neutral expression, like it is important that, the word it there will be il est or c'est. Subtly, we use a little bit more say orally and il a little bit more written down. Strictly speaking, if il est is introducing the concept, and if we already knew the concept, we could say say. So Bree says to me, Luke, it's interesting that, you know, you do this method, whatever. Il est intéressant, or il est intéressant. Or Luke, you do this method. It's interesting. It's a little bit more common to then say c'est intéressant because we're looking back at the method that we've already spoken about. So that's a subtlety there. Then we have the word it for all the grammar where we have like phrases like il faut, il reste, il manque. As in, I'm lacking. It to me remains. Il me manque. Il me reste. I've got left. Il me faut. I need. So if you want to watch that video, people, it's the manque, reste, faut video. All right. So far, videos that we need for today with a passive, just type passive or il me manque, il me reste, il me faut. It's called il manque, il reste, il faut. If you are referring to a verbal concept with no noun. So if you said, for example, you know, I'm crazily in love with someone at the moment. I'm not going to say who it is, but like, yeah, it's right. It's nobody you know, but like, I don't want to mention this person's name because the chances are they bloody watch the video. But if I said, so this person does this thing, it makes me happy, I am referring to the verbal action of them doing something. So, for example, me taking a mug into coffee, it's going to make it easier. So I'm not saying the mug is going to make it, cheaper. I'm not saying the mug is going to make it cheaper. I'm saying the verbal action of me taking a mug into Costa is going to be whatever. And that would be ça. So that's where we will commonly go with ça. That annoys me. Ça m'énerve. Yeah. No one's saying you can't use ça about an actual thing. J'aime ça. But it's very commonly used for a verbal concept, an abstract concept. All right. If you're going abstract concepts, but the verb is to be, we will use the C apostrophe and we would tend to use the EST, like say again. So an overview, that's kind of made sense a little bit more. So if I'm saying it makes, so the main two out of that you need is if you're mentioning a previous noun, use your il and your elle. Yeah. If you're referring to a verbal concept, use your ça. That's probably going to get you out of shit a little bit. So could you say for me, it makes it less expensive? Just give me that for now, Denise.
So
you now need another it. So if I say
rendre.
correct verb, but it as an abstract, speak English, Luke, as an abstract thing, is it singular or plural?
Singular.
Therefore, is it going to be rendre or rend?
Rend.
What kind of verb is rendre? Soft, hard. Remember that shit?
Right.
Say for me now, and say for me, Luke. Just say for me, Luke does. Just in 2 words, say Luke does.
Luc fait.
Nice accent. Luke does it. Luke does a lot of shit, but say Luke does it.
Luc le fait.
Lovely slide for me, Luke. So enjoy the journey. That was a very nice closed mouth. A very nice closed mouth. Just because the mouth is closed doesn't mean that we can't have ue. So we've gone Luc le fait. Those are our vowels. Luc le fait. So Luc le fait.
Luc le fait.
That's it. Just because it's blurred with the consonants, it doesn't mean behind the scenes, en coulisses, in the wings, Doesn't mean in the wings that we haven't got a load of shit going on. So what was the word for it that we used there?
Ça.
No, apologies. Luke does it. Luke
le.
So what was the word that we used as the second word there? What was the word for it?
Le.
Le. So when we are referring to a random verbal action, but this time on the receiving end of the verb, we don't say ça, we use le. Yeah. So if we put the two together, this verbal shit makes this verbal shit. Whatever, we're going to have ça, le, rend. Yeah? It makes. So secondly, ça le rend. Those of you that don't follow, when you make something an adjective, you use rendre, don't you? You never use faire for this. So secondly, Denise, it makes it less expensive.
Ça le rend plus.
Sorry, less expensive.
Moins cher.
Good. Mouth closed all the way through. Don't stop pushing with your chest. Ça le rend moins cher.
Ça le rend moins cher.
No, you're saying ça. Tune in on your vowel. You're saying ça. I don't want ça. Ça le rend moins cher.
Ça le rend moins cher.
Moins ou moins. Ça le rend moins. Enjoy the handover from one vowel to the next. As I said, I think it was to Bree 2 weeks ago. It isn't some sneaky shit that you do in a car park. Enjoy. Ça le rend moins cher. Like, you can hand over from one vowel to the next. You should be. It's not just acceptable. That's what makes French clear. Oui, alors ça le rend moins cher. Good. To bring your own cup. You can go with to bring one's own cup. To bring one's own cup. So say for me, to bring one's own cup. Remember, I knew that would happen. What would be remember the hands. Remember the hands. What was the to bring with a thing rather than a person?
Emporter.
You're in the right with the porter because people are men. Women and men. So people tend to be that's a stupid way of remembering it, but it works. So say to me, you know, that's it. So you remember, so you've got the men is people, porte is objects generally. I mean, I could carry a person, you know, my daughter, for example, but you know, she'd just break my nose if I picked her up in the wrong place. So I can walk, we know. So in other words, what would be the verb that we want if we have got a human, if we've got a non-human, but we're bringing it towards us? Was it letter E or letter A?
Letter A.
Good. So you've got that kind of quadrant, guys, that kind of grid. It's men for people, pot for things, E to go away, A to come back, E to go away, A to come back. So emporter, apporter, with people, amener, amener. All right. Good. Lovely. If you bring your own cup, so how do you say your own cup, Denise?
Ta propre
The
tasse.
word we gave Brie earlier, ta propre tasse.
Oui.
How do you say one's own cup?
Sa
Sa propre tasse.
propre
So
tasse.
son, sa, say isn't just his, her. It's one's. So we are going to see our mother. Nous allons voir notre mère. We are going to see our mother using on. On va voir notre mère. For the possessive, for our, you have to go back to notre. When one sees one's mother, those who are lucky enough to have them, or lucky enough to have a relationship where they deem it appropriate to see them, which is completely respectable if they don't as well. So on va voir sa mère. When one's going to see one's mother. All right. So son, sa, say can also be one. Yeah. So remember, guys, I don't think that was quite clear from earlier. So on, one, is not just another way of saying we. It's like the general one. There's a very good video I did called l'on, which is L''on, which is the more formal way of saying that, but you don't need that for speech for half the time at all. Yeah?
Question.
Petite question, vas-y.
On dit, so you would say one sees notre, or
If you are using on to mean we, use notre, no. If you are using on to mean one, like one does one's best, I don't mean like the Queen, you know, or Margaret Thatcher, who were both famous for saying, you know, one for like the first person, like I. Do you know what I mean? I don't mean that elevated way of speech. I mean like as in like, you know, sometimes in life, one really has to. Now in common speech, we've made that a you, haven't we? You know, sometimes in life, you got to just, you know, and you can say that in French. Tu sais quoi? Des fois, dans la vie, tu dois continuer. You just have to carry on. Whatever. Yeah, you know. Good. One more sentence for me, dude. So say for me, if I had known that it were cheaper, I would have started doing it a year ago. If I had known it was cheaper, I would have started doing it a year ago.
Si j'avais su que
Listen. So you're all primed. You've completely worked out that this is the past historical. No, the past hypothetical. And therefore, the past historic is something else. The past hypothetical. And you're all primed. You've just done your would have shit, and you're all ready to springboard into the had thing. Remember, life isn't always, this is quite an advanced correction, but you guys will take this on board. Grammar doesn't always match the feeder clause, and then the subordinate clause, the dominant clause and subordinate clause. So Luke will teach you. It is interesting that you know, Tabitha has this job. It's very interesting. So you go, oh, neutral expression. So neutral expression. So c'est intéressant que Tabby a ce poste. And we're like, okay, so it's neutral there. And then the next sentence is going to be subjunctive, like AIT she has. But, you know, if it were, it's interesting, you know, given she used to be a KGB assassin, the Tabitha now is cabin crew. Do you know what I mean? Like you could have thrown some other sentence in the middle of that. Or, you know, if you knew the answer, given that everybody else there wanted to know what was going on, you would have said so. In other words, be prepared to say other sentences other than your two that are in relationship with each other. Does that make sense? So your first one, if you had known, si tu avais su, that it were cheaper or something, whatever, that's just a basic ass description. It's not our response. So how would you say it were cheaper?
Sorry, I didn't hear. If
it was cheaper, it was cheaper. If you'd known that it was cheaper, si tu avais su que it was cheaper, because
c'était moins cher.
That's it. Now, because you've done an auxiliary with would have, you now need to do an auxiliary with the was in the middle. No, the other way around. Because you've done an auxiliary with had, you now need to do one with the would have in the middle. So si tu avais su que c'était moins cher, so si j'avais su que c'était moins cher, I would have started doing it a year ago. I would have started doing it a year ago.
J'aurais commencé il y a un an.
I would have started to do it. I need started to do it.
J'aurais commencé à le faire il y a
Nice. Now, you remember that, and what I liked about it was for three things. A, you didn't dwell on the A, but you slid past the bitch anyway. Commencer à le faire. B, that you slid very nicely up commencer à. And C, I struggled there, A, B, C, that you slid very nicely from commencer à le. We slide. B, j'ai commencé à le faire. Good, 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 good. I'm coming down. I'm going to keep going clockwise. I'm then in Finland. My friend Tati has two sons who both work as dancers. They're ballet dancers in Helsinki. In Helsinki. My friend Tati, she's Italian. My friend Tati has two sons who both work as dancers. There's an elegant way of saying as dancers, and there's a normal way of saying as dancers. In Helsinki. Off you go, see my love. Oh no, you've got your alien noise again. Do you want to come off? Come on, whatever you do. I think she's got it down. We interrupt our normal programming for a. She's back. Look, she's back. She's quick as fuck. She knows what goes wrong now. No, I'm sorry. It's like Daryl Hannah in the TV shop in Splash. Do you know what I mean? When he goes, Madison, what's your real name? And she goes, you can't say it in your language. And he's like, try me. Yeah. And when the TV screens break. And again. Oh. Mark, do something from the beyond. Sort out her bloody internet for you. Speak. Ah! Any ideas? Different device? Laptop versus phone, perhaps? That's a good idea. Okay. While I'm there, I'm just going to quickly say again then what I was saying about this was and this would thing to make this completely clear. You guys have gone last week. Oh, okay, yes. So imperfect and conditional, or imperfect on the middle and conditional on the middle. If you said either of those options, but you then had another sentence in the middle. So if I wanted to come, the sister sentence is I would come. But I could add another sentence. If I wanted to come and everybody else was going, I would go. Do you see how there's another sentence in the middle? So you might end up with another one that's imperfect, you know, all that kind of business. Good. I'm going to give her 1 minute and then I'm just going to switch to Tabitha and then we'll switch the order up. Tia and Peter. Peter comes every week. We've never seen him. Lovely. Any joy, my darling?
Hello.
Oh, thank motherfuck. Thank you, Mark. Thank you. Right, off you go. So my friend Tati has two sons who both work as dancers in Helsinki.
Mon ami Tati a deux fils qui travaillent les deux.
No, pause. What is your twang? Your upper thing is really good. I told you that week one. Good, 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 good. There wasn't a lot of room in that sentence for down twang, but your upper twang sounded great there. Really great. Alors, mon ami Tati a deux fils. I know it's a language class. And within reason, as long as there's no dumb errors, a safe space. I don't mind errors as long as there's not errors we've taught already. Go round. Your number one thing you guys have got to learn is to go round the problem. Then go, by the way, Luke, how do I say this? We can't stop. So if you didn't know the way to say both, what could you have done there? My friend Tati has two sons. Her two sons work in, there's ways, almost as a little Sudoku puzzle. Think, how would I have got around the word both without knowing the word both? So as you've stopped, let's quickly talk both. You said the word de. You're right for going towards de. Have another little go. Who both work as dancers. How would you say that? Qui? So we've got qui and travail, and we need to get to de. How are we going to get there?
Les deux travaillent comme danseurs.
Good. So comme is what? Fine. En tant que, en space T-A-N-T space Q-U-E. Do you remember a moment ago I was talking about A-N-T for the gerund? The gerund of being is étant. Étant. And we've got a shortened version of tant. En tant que means as, being a dancer, but it's formal, right? So comme danseur or en tant que danseur. Let's look at the word both. If both is accompanying a noun, so no verb. Who's going out tonight? Both of them. Tous les deux. Or just les deux, or tous les deux, or toutes les deux. Both women are going to go. Les deux femmes vont aller. Les deux femmes. Both women are going to go. You wouldn't repeat the word deux, but say they're going to go. Elles vont aller toutes les deux. So in other words, you've got this deliberation with both about whether you put the de at the beginning or at the end. They're both going to do it. Ils vont le faire tous les deux. Yeah. Les deux vont le faire. Both of them are going to do it. So it's the difference between they are both going to do it and both of them are going to do it. So just say this for me, everybody. Just say, ils vont le faire tous les deux.
Ils vont le faire.
Ils vont le faire tous les deux.
Les deux vont le faire.
Les deux.
Les deux vont le faire.
Nice accent, Tabby. I can hear you. I mean, everybody else as well, but I just heard your voice for the first time today. So in other words, I say to Tabby, how many people in the crew know about this? And you say, all 5 of them. Tous les 5, tous les 6, whatever. Or toutes les 5, toutes les 6 if it was women, all right? So just be careful. Tous les deux is more common at the end than at the beginning then, all right? So mon ami Tati a 2 fils qui travaillent tous les deux comme danseurs à Helsinki. Lovely. They did their training in Milan. They're from Italy, so that makes it easy. They did their training in Milan, but both of them are in pain at the moment. They've both got injuries. So lovely. So they did their training. I never, ever had an injury when I was dancing as a job. Not once. Just since then, some bastards tried to kill me. But whilst dancing, I was fucking immortal. So say for me, so they both, so they did their training in Milan. We'll talk about the word training and its many options. And but they're both in pain at the moment because they've got an injury. We'll go with that because they're both in pain at the moment because they've got an injury.
Ils ont fait leur entraînement à Milan, mais en ce moment, les deux ont du mal.
Pause. Firstly, ils ont fait, so physically, to train physically is entraîner. To train the brain, we often use former. So if you're saying, I need to go and do some training on this software, une formation. Yeah. physically is an entraînement. As you said, you don't need to say entraînement. It's a bit sudden. Entraînement, entraînement, okay? Entraînement, okay? Don't go entraînement. But weirdly, if you say they're training, ils s'entraînent. Notice the reflexive. Notice the reflexive, because I could be training somebody else. I'm training him. Je l'entraîne. He's training me. Il m'entraîne. Good luck with my broken tendons. But if you say, but weirdly, if you refer to a career changing training period, even though it might be a physical preparation like classical dance, you would often go with formation. So ils ont fait leur formation, as opposed to they physically trained him. Let's say ils ont fait. If it were reflexive and we're going with s'entraîner, how would you say, Tia? They trained yesterday. They trained yesterday, which they didn't because they're both on the bench because of sickness. So illness. So how do you say they trained yesterday? It's reflexive and in the past.
Ils se sont entraînés.
Yeah, ils se sont entraînés. Ils se sont entraînés. Yeah, ils se sont entraînés.
Ils se sont entraînés.
Yeah. I've really trained well. Oh putain, je me suis bien entraîné aujourd'hui. Yeah, an entraîneur is a trainer as well. So lovely. The bane of my life is mal versus du mal. I'm in pain. Say for me, I'm in pain, Tia. And get it wrong, and you might be. Say for me, I'm in pain.
J'ai mal.
Notice we are all grammar fucking ticians when it comes to the je. Yeah, that's called muscle fucking memory. So if you can't think of something, try the je, also try the present tense. Yeah? So if it's j'ai mal, how do you say they are in pain?
Ils ont mal.
Link it in the mouth, ils ont mal.
Ils ont mal.
I'm very happy you like saying ils ont du mal, but what does that mean?
It's difficult.
They have difficulty doing something. Yeah. When you use tu m'as fait du mal et tu m'as fait mal, you can use both in that regard. One would be like tu m'as fait mal would be like you hurt me. One would be like tu m'as fait du mal is like you almost like a bit emotionally you hurt me. Do you know what I mean? So you can use both. We've all been there. We've all been there. We've all been there. Lovely. So basically, yeah. So ils ont du mal tous les deux en ce moment. Yeah. What's the word for injury that we went with? Blessure. Blessure. Which is ironic because blessé, meaning to be injured, there's nothing to be blessed. Lovely. One more for me, Tia. Equally, my brother used to live in Helsinki with a Finnish girl. But she was a bitch. 6 years. Yeah, she did a little number on him. My brother wrote her masters, and the day it got handed in, she ditched him. But she didn't even ditch him. She didn't even tell him. She just like went. She just went and fucked off. And my mum was like, Sissy, she's Cecilia. She's like, is there a problem? And she's like, and my mum was like, if my son's laid a finger on you, I'll fucking kill him myself. And she was like, no, he's fine. And my mum was like, well, just dump his ass then. Just dump his ass. And that's really weird. Like she didn't tell him. And my poor brother, who quite, oh my God, he like spent like 2 years going, she's coming back. Coming like, no, she ain't. So yeah, but apart from that, every other Finn I've ever met has been amazing. My friend Milka, she's freaking perfect. Good. So fabulous girl. So say for me, my brother used to live there for 6 years, but his girlfriend dumped him. His fiance, I think, actually. So my brother used to live there for 6 years, but his girlfriend. No, my brother used to live there for 6 years with a Finnish girl, but she dumped him.
Mon frère a habité pendant.
Lovely. Now your thing I want you to do is I want you to be Tia from the beginning. So I want you to sound like you normally with a nice bit of what's the emotional story in this? We can't all go to neutral when we speak. We don't want to lose Tia just from the fact that you're thinking in a new language. You speak English now. You speak English with your personality completely intact. So don't think that the personality is the final cherry on the cake. using the personality slowly as we go through it will A, help you think of an appropriate register of vocab. Because if you feel sad and you said, triste, you then go, you'll remember triste. And I know that sounds really basic, but that is what will happen on a logistical linguistic level. So you basically need to sort of picture shit, feel it. Next, if you give me emotion, it will come from the diaphragm, and therefore you will lengthen your vowels. So don't think that it's too much to ask from me. It will also soften your teeth, and it will push your chest, and all the things that I want from you for Christmas in the mouth and the body, it will do. So just be a little bit more human along the way. We don't want to be like neutral. So if you go, so yeah, and you might be like, well, Luke, what emotion am I going with here? You know, off you go. So he used to live with a Finnish girl in Helsinki for 6 years, but she dumped him. Off you go. If you don't know dumped, you go round here. Go.
Mon frère habitait à Helsinki pendant 6 ans avec une
Finnish girl.
Une fille finnoise, mais elle était une mauvaise personne.
Yeah, she was. But she dumped him. People are allowed to end relationships. I'm not going to go for ending a relationship. I just mean the way she did it. So she dumped him. So L-L-A. Any idea? Okay. Tia, how would you say she finished the relationship? How would you say she finished the relationship?
Finir la relation.
She finished action. Luke, stop doing that. You can't do it. It hurts your joints. She finished the reaction. She finished the relationship. Action. She finished the relationship.
Elle a fini.
No, elle a fini la relation. Elle a terminé la relation. French to dump someone. Larguer. Larguer. Which comes from when you drop a missile. Larguer. Oui, elle m'a largué. Number one thing. Ouais, tu m'as largué. Lovely. I mean, dump might not be in your vernacular as in English tier anyway. You might not use that word, but like, you know, yeah. So she ended the relationship. Elle l'a largué. She dumped him. I'm going to give you the phrasal verb as your final thing to finish. Then I'm going to go over to Miss T. The verb I'm saying is, if I said, en vouloir à quelqu'un. En needed, vouloir needed, à quelqu'un. By the fact here that you are hearing à quelqu'un, is this a phrase? Is this a verb which is direct or indirect?
Indirect.
Auntie Lukey told you all that whilst you will hear, or while you will hear, because some people don't like the word whilst. Some people don't like the word moist. And I think it's the best fucking word in the world, especially when you're talking about cake. So some people hear these and they go, oh, à moi, à toi, à lui, à nous, à vous, à, you know. Remember, where possible, if you have an and a person, what does that mean for most situations? It means stick in the pronoun before and learn the few exceptions where you don't do that. Like, c'est à moi, or j'ai besoin de lui, rather than, you know, ça m'est, or whatever, you know, like, you know, yeah, learn those few exceptions. So in other words, if it's on, we need the on, we need the on, we need the on. This is the Lego kit of our verb. We need the on, we need the vouloir. It's just going to be conjugated. We're then going to have à quelqu'un. Yeah. How would you say I resent her? I resent her. Tia.
Je lui en veux.
Well fucking done. That's to resent somebody. I hold it against them. Je lui en veux. Good. Good. Lovely. Tabby. Unfortunately, I'm not mocking my brother. He's a very, very intelligent person. It's just he had, although Americans never understand ME because you always confuse it with mono, but he had that like myoencephalitis thing for 10 years where basically you just can't get your ass out of bed. And if anybody ever tries to say to him, oh yeah, you're just depressed, he's like, so in the United Kingdom, before Tony, I'm sorry, I just need a bucket, one moment. Before Tony Blair was Prime Minister, before Tony Blair was Prime Minister, universities were free over here, unlike the States. And we didn't have any warning. And all of a sudden it was announced that universities would have fees. Yeah. So back in the day, it's not like when you get the military to sponsor you in the States and you then have to join the military, which I more than understand. I've got friends that have done that, and I've got friends that have really enjoyed it, and I've got friends that haven't enjoyed it after. But back in the day when university was free in the United Kingdom, there were still people that the military would still sponsor them to go and do their degree, and it was just like a nice thing. They gave them some cash. This kid was like sponsored by the Marines, I think it was, or something. And then all of a sudden, and he went from running 7 miles a day to being like, and he wasn't into drugs or shit like that. If you factor out Snickers bars. So, and if you say to him, oh yeah, you were kind of like really super tired for 10 years, it was like depression or something, he'll literally punch you through the wall. He's so this is why he's a bit sensitive, because he had like a few bad years. So good, but we have to overcome, don't we? So Tabby, so say for me, unfortunately, now my brother lives with my mom, but he's an intelligent man. Unfortunately, my brother lives with my mom, but he's an intelligent man.
Malheureusement,
Look at me. Your brain knows it. Put mouth, nice twang. Put mouth on French, smaller lips, malheureusement. When it goes wrong, you all go, and you all try and say it bigger. Do the opposite. Molars together, say it smaller, malheureusement. Mumble it. You were halfway in the middle. You were like this kind of like middle of the Atlantic, not American, not French. You then thought, oh shit, it's not clear. And you then were about to go, malheureux. No. Go the opposite way, Tabby. Go completely not us. Oui, malheureusement.
Malheureusement.
But push from the chest. Malheureusement.
Malheureusement.
Push. Tabby, just sing for me. Just say, happy birthday. Sing, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
That's it. So let's be very clear. We're not doing aspiration. We're not doing happy birthday, Mr. President. That's like an aspirated thing. We're not on about the air, okay? We're on about happy birthday. What is it that turns happy birthday into happy birthday? That pressure is what you want for French. So close your damn mouth and say malheureusement and push from there.
Malheureusement.
Oh, native. It don't matter how much you close your mouth. You need to push it out somehow. It needs to come from here. Because malheureusement, my brother lives with my mom. Mouth closed.
Malheureusement, mon frère habitait mon mère.
Lives. What tense is lives?
Okay. Malheureusement, mon frère habitait avec ma mère.
What tense is lives? What tense? Correct verb, but what tense? Lives. What tense is it?
Oh, habiterait.
Answer my question. What tense is he lives? Past, present,
Present.
Lovely. What does Lukey give every tense? A gift basket for Christmas and a slogan. And the slogan for the present is a soft hard. A verbs lose the A. What the fuck does habiter come without the A?
Habite.
Lovely. Don't bang beat without being indiscreet. Beat means careful. Beat means dick. So don't go beat, because you'll be people tease you. Say habite. Yeah, put the two together. Yes, because beat is dick. So yeah. So say me, mon frère habite with my mom.
Okay. Malheureusement, mon frère habite ma mère.
Good. Now, Tabby, you've got a very clear speaking voice, like in English. Don't use these teeth that you have. Don't use this enunciation you have. Mon frère habite avec ma mère. Don't go, mon frère habite avec ma mère. It's too clean. Mon frère habite avec ma mère. Go.
Mon frère habite.
No, habite. Learn. Now listen, the reason you're making these mistakes is because you habite. You're all on the clicks. Be into the vowel. Habite avec mon frère habite avec ma mère. Sing it for me. Mon frère. Wow, what a lovely tune.
Mon frère habite avec ma mère.
Good. Now, what you just did then was fucking marvelous, because you linked it all on the diaphragm. Sing. Mon frère habite avec ma mère. That's fine. It doesn't even sound ridiculous in French. That could be speech, right?
Malheureusement, mon frère.
That's not singing. Malheureusement.
Okay. Yeah. Malheureusement, mon frère habite avec ma mère.
Those words were pronounced beautifully, but there was a pause. Don't move on if there's a pause. Slow it down, but go in one go. Malheureusement, mon frère habite avec ma mère. Go.
Malheureusement, mon frère habite avec ma mère.
Say to me, mon frère.
Mon frère.
Imagine it's the surname. Mon frère habite. Mon frère habite.
Mon frère habite.
Well done. Now say habite avec. Imagine it's a surname. Mr. and Mrs.
Habite avec. Habite
Lovely.
avec.
Let's say they're Nigerian. Habite avec ma. Say habite avec ma. Habite avec ma.
Habite avec.
She's going to be
Habite-
gorgeous, colourful things. Say
Habite avec moi.
Lovely.
Habite avec moi.
Mon frère habite avec ma mère. Don't have pauses. Lovely. Next sentence, Tabitha. Because he's not well. Because he's not well.
Parce que il est.
I enter a room.
Il n'est pas.
Look at Lukey, look at Lukey, look at Lukey, look at Lukey. How do you say in 2 words, how are you, Luke? The first one being sa. Sa. What's the second
Ça
one?
va. Ça
Lovely.
va. Okay.
What do we use? Listen to Lukey. What verb do we use for well-being? Be.
Have.
What verb's va from?
I said avoir.
No, it isn't. You're just reversing the V and A in the brain.
I mean, aller.
That's what
Aller.
everybody does. You all reverse it in your brain. Lovely. So what, therefore, is he? So what's the he equivalent of ça va? Il va.
Il va.
Now say he doesn't go. Il va.
Il ne va.
Make it negative. Lovely. And put well on the end.
Il ne va pas bien.
Well done. Il va pas bien. If you said, oh, I've just met Tia's husband, Peter. How is he? Il va comment? That means how is he doing? How is he? Il est comment? That means, oh, he's about this high, whatever. That would be a description. It's not the same thing. Well-being is go. All right. You can use je suis bien. You know, you can use that in a slangy shit way, but je vais is better. Yeah, tu vas bien, monsieur, vous allez bien? Oui, il va pas bien. So certainly, unfortunately, he's not very well. Malheureusement, il va pas bien. Yeah.
Malheureusement, mon frère habite avec ma mère. Il ne
But he's
va
not very
pas. Il ne va pas.
Il ne va pas. Listen to
Il ne
Lukey,
va
listen to Lukey.
pas.
Shut up. Listen to Lukey when she's speaking. Listen. I know you're keen, but listen, because you're getting muscle memory down that I'm then going to have to work my fucking fat ass off to undo, and I don't like doing that. Don't use no. I repeat, all of you, don't use no unless it is a negative command with a pronoun. Don't eat, mange pas. Don't touch, touche pas. Don't touch it, ne le touche pas. Rule number 1, if you're going to use a no, do it with a command which has a thing with it. Or after, before an infinitive. I'm happy to not go out. Tabby and I are just going to watch fucking DVDs. DVDs, how old are you, Luke? Going to watch Netflix. Je suis content de ne pas sortir. There's another place I like a no. When it's ne pas, ne jamais, ne rien, before an infinitive. Apart from that, people, for the moment, don't use no. I'd rather you go faster and more smoothly without the no. So say for me, il va bien.
Il va bien.
You're just adding pas. Say for me, il va pas bien.
Il va pas bien.
The no is grammatically correct, but most of France just drop the no for speed. And I'd just like you to do that for the moment because you're going to get the rhythm. All right, good. Say for me, Tabitha. But he's an intelligent man. But he's an intelligent man.
Mais il est. Mais
Look
il
at
est.
me. Look at me. Your words are clear to my English brain. They're not clear to my French brain. You've said il est. That's your choice. That's fine. Remain on A until you're ready for the next word. Remain il est. Keep going. Keep the words linked. Off you go. He's an intelligent man.
Mais il est intelligent.
That's lovely. Il est intelligent. So he's intelligent. Il est intelligent. Notice the link. Il est intelligent. Tu es intelligent. Tu es intelligente. Il est intelligent. He's an intelligent man. Going back to Denise's conversation about say and il, if you introduce a noun, even with a person, you're going to think this is fucking weird. We use the word it's. Tabitha, do you have a brother?
Oui.
What's his name?
George.
George. Lovely name. My grandfather was called George. So if I basically say, George is fantastic. George est fantastique. He is fantastic. Il est fantastique. That's fine. He is fantastic. He's a fantastic man with a noun present. C'est un homme fantastique. C'est un homme fantastique. You need C to introduce a noun. They are fantastic girls. Ce sont, not elles sont. They are fantastic. Elles sont fantastiques. They're fantastic girls. Yeah. Ce sont des filles fantastiques. All right. So Tabby, say for me, he's a nice guy. No, he's not a nice guy, but he's a clever guy. So say for me, c'est un mec intelligent. C'est un mec intelligent. He's a nice guy. He's an intelligent guy. C'est un mec intelligent. You just got to damn listen to Auntie Lukey because she fucking said it. C'est un mec intelligent. Copy.
C'est un mec intelligent.
Good. Okay. Lovely. He has two interesting careers. Different words for career. One is métier. One is carrière. Carrière being feminine, métier being masculine. So say for me, he has two interesting careers. Your choice of words.
Il a
Deep going while you're thinking.
Il a deux.
Keep going while you're thinking.
Il a
Keep
deux.
going while you're thinking. Don't just do it a little bit. Don't just give me 30 seconds and think I'll think that's an hour. Trust me, there's times in life what I've said. Is that it?
Il a deux métiers.
That's brilliant. That join was lovely. And again, il a deux métiers. Go on.
Il a deux métiers.
That was fabulous, that last sentence. Now stick interesting on the end. On the end, not floating off like an island. He has two interesting careers. Abigail.
Il a deux.
Keep it going. It's fine.
Intéressant.
Look at Lukey very quickly. When you do that, it sounds sublime. So good. I'm like, oh my God, someone's speaking my language. Listen to Auntie Lukey. Listen. The majority of adjectives go after. I repeat, the majority of adjectives go after. If you want to know the ones that go before, type adjectives. Wow, what a crazy link. Type adjectives into my YouTube and a video comes up explaining petit, petite, nouveau, nouvelle, vieux, vieille, whatever the adjectives that go before. There's a system. We talk about like backs, beauty, age, whatever. Condition, size, but no, just, bon, bonne, vieux, vieille, mauvais, mauvaise. But most adjectives go afterwards. Most. All right. So, il a deux métiers. Stick interesting on the end.
Il a deux métiers intéressants.
Listen, métier. Did you hear kicking in? You only start one word in a French thought. The first one. Everything else you slide into. Do you remember me talking to Brie about speaking? No, do you remember me speaking to Denise about speaking to Brie previously? When I said that you've got to slide and that the handover of the vowels is really important. If you go, il a deux métiers intéressants, you are denying the handover. Il a deux métiers intéressants. Or you could say il a deux métiers intéressants with it. But don't worry about that. So the point is, I'm interested in the slide. One more for me, Tabitha. Copy me, psychologue. Oh, because all shrinks are fucking crazy, aren't they? Let's be frank. So say for me, he was a psychiatrist. He was a psychiatrist. We've got psychiatre. Psychiatre. Would you copy what I'm saying, people? Psychiatre.
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 Yeah, you're not saying psychiatre. You're saying so psycho. Can we picture the spelling of that? P-S. So in French, you don't say psy, you say psy.
Psychiatre.
Right, just whisper for me. Say, psst, psst, Luke, come here. Psst. Imagine PSST or whatever, however you write it. Say psst. Right, not being rude. Can you just say piss? Just say piss.
Piss.
Right. Now say psst. Now say it really quickly. Psst. That's it. Now say psi. That's it. That's how you say PSY in French, people. You didn't know that, did you? So say to me, psychiatre.
Psychiatre.
Long wins the day. Psychiatre.
Psychiatre.
Nice. Now say psychologue. Psychologue.
Psychologue.
That was good. Psychologist. Okay. He was a psychiatrist. No, he doesn't do that now. He teaches engineering stuff. He was a psychiatrist. He was a psychiatrist. He was a psychiatrist. He was. Here's your clue, Tabitha. Listen to Auntie Vicky. 3 words. One of which is going to be he. One of which is going to be psychologist. You've only got 3 words for the whole sentence. He was a psychologist. Ooh, 4 words in English. To say for me, he was a psychologist.
Il était psychiatrologue.
You're giving me a hybrid of the two. Psychiatrologue. I'm going to use that from now on. Yeah. So jobs in French. I've said this before. Jobs, religions. Anybody remember the third one? Where you can make it an adjective or a noun. Anybody remember the third category?
Nationality.
Nationalities, Auntie Denise. Well done. So, il est français, but, Denise, how to say he's a Frenchman? How to say he's a Frenchman? If I'm saying he's a Frenchman, am I introducing a noun?
Yes.
And did Auntie Lukey teach you today that when we introduce a noun, even if it's about people, yeah, Bree, have you got a brother? Good. Much more estrogenic based family. Let's say Bree's on about her dad and she says, yeah, he's cool. Ouais, il est sympa. He's a cool guy. C'est un mec sympa. We switch to say, same guy. Do you know what I mean? Same guy. All right. Bree's like, Bree, is your dad cool? Yeah. That's right. You have to be so careful when you give grammatic examples and people are like, I haven't spoken to my father in years. I'm like, okay. Good, lovely. Back around, we're coming around to Brie. Say for me, Luke, here's my phrasal verb. Brie, make it work for you. She gets on. It is ABC, so reflexive. Here's your clue. She gets on with her, someone else. Elle s'entend bien avec elle. Take that, make a template, and say, I get on with him. So she gets on with her. Elle s'entend bien avec elle, someone else. She gets on with her. How do you say, I get on well with him?
Je l'entends.
That's exactly right. Well done. You've worked it out beautifully. With him.
Avec lui.
Spot on. Correct form of him because it's after the preposition. Close your mouth, Brie. Je m'entends bien. Put in a bien. Je m'entends bien avec lui.
Je m'entends bien avec lui.
Lovely. With him. But bless you, I love you too. But with him, with your dad. Avec lui. Avec lui. I get on well with him. Je m'entends bien avec lui. I get on well with him. Je m'entends bien avec lui. I hear myself well with him. Go on, je m'entends bien avec lui.
Je m'entends bien avec lui.
He gets on well with me.
Il m'entend bien avec
Je m'entends bien avec lui. What is this verb doing before it goes anywhere else? It looks after the person that's doing it. What do we call them, Brie, when a verb deals with yourself on the left, and then it has a preposition to link you to something on the right? What do we call that combination? We call it an ABC, yes. So it doesn't make sense a lot of the time in English. Because if you say, I remember Susan, you think me here, remember in the middle, Susan over there. But in French, it's I to myself recall of Susan. Je me souviens de Susan. Just accept it. So you have to, with an ABC, effectively, all ABCs are reflexive, yeah, or reciprocal. So in other words, if I say he gets on with me, that shit's got to be reflexive before it comes anywhere near me. That's why we need the preposition to then get it away from me, yeah, so, to get it away from the person doing the verb. So say for me, he gets on with me. Il se.
Il se.
Here's my original verb. I'm going to give you the infinitive. It's reflexive. S'entendre, s'entendre. So, Brie, Lukey's telling you it's reflexive. So can you picture the S apostrophe at the beginning, yeah? So what verb, my love, can you hear in the middle of s'entendre if you didn't have the se? What can you hear?
Entendre.
Nicely pronounced. What would entendre be? And you can pop the se back in because it's a she. So what's the short form of entendre?
Entendre.
What? Say it again, yeah?
Entendre.
She. So going back to method 1, do you remember when I gave everything a slogan? It was a verbs, as I said to Tabby a moment ago, a verbs or soft. What's the other category in present tense? Soft.
Soft.
As we discussed with en or whatever it was earlier, quelqu'un, I can't remember. She, is that single soft or plural hard?
This is a single soft.
So remember, guys, being English speakers and also the fact that you want to learn a foreign language suggests that you are strong at languages in your own language, which means you are generally going to be, on average, better spoken in English than other people. That's like a weird statistic, which therefore means that you are going to be a little bit bangier and stronger with a consonant. You're going to like s'entendre because you're going to be speaking clearly in English. Be careful. S'entendre is great if it's a they or a subjunctive or something. So in other words, what's she gets on well with me, but she is singular. Elles sont.
S'entend.
That's it. Now, if you guys push vowels, that feels like a thing. Elles s'entendent bien avec moi. If you don't push vowels and you just wait for the next consonant, that feels like a non-thing. Yeah, elles s'entendent bien avec moi. Good. Brie, she used to get on well with me. She used to get on well with me.
Elles sont. Oh, 1 second. Elles sont. Tenez.
You've done the right technique, but the verb tenir, and I don't need it with tenir, I need it with entendre. So who do we go to? You know, I always ask the question, but this shit works. Who do we go to in the present to check what we're doing in the was? We go to the we. So could you quickly please say for me, we hear, because obviously entendre can also be here. So how would you say we hear, Brie, using nous? Nous entendons, what would that be? Nous entendons.
Nous entendons.
Nous entendons.
No.
Because it's single soft, plural hard. Nous entendons. Game of Thrones it. Off you go.
Entendre.
No, what sound do we put on the end of a was?
S'entendait.
That's the fucker. So say for me, she used to get on well with me. Elle s'entendait bien avec moi.
Elle s'entendait bien avec moi.
Lovely. Susan. If she got on well with me, she would buy me a coffee. If she got on well with me, she would buy me. No, if I got on well with her, I would buy her a coffee.
Si je m'entends bien avec.
Did we hear the word if?
Oui.
That then makes us prick up our ears. Careful, Luke. That then makes us prick up our ears to the word, to whether or not it's a hypothetical. Is this a hypothetical? If I got on well with her, if she got on well with me, she would buy me a coffee.
It's present.
It's the present hypothetical. It could still potentially happen.
Right.
All ifs aren't hypothetical. Oh, well, if you like that, Luke, you'll love this. That's not hypothetical then, because I do like it. Okay. So what two tenses do we use in the present hypothetical? We use what and what?
Conditional.
Yes, we do. And that's not a wrong answer. But which one follows the word if? Which one follows the word if?
Infinitive. The was tense. Yes.
I fucking love that you can't say it because we don't need to say this. If I sort of did like sensible haircuts and like wore one of the many jackets that I used to wear, just floating around the place, like and work in the city like I used to, and was a sensible teacher, I'd be like, le présent, l'imparfait, le futur simple, le conditionnel. Is that my shit? That's not me being slack. That's me working harder to give you this organic feel of tenses. I'd then come on to the bottom line and I'd say le passé composé, le plus que parfait. You know, that's not how it works. So yes, so that one, yeah. So in other words, if she got on well with me, she would buy me a coffee. Have another go. No, if I got on well with her, I would buy her a coffee.
Okay. Si je mettais.
Abada. We are in the present hypothetical, which means
okay.
was and would on the verb, not was and would on the auxiliary. Clear?
Okay, yeah.
Clear? Lukey likes the fact that your mouth knows that can happen. Lukey likes the fact that your mouth knows auto-fucking-matically, if it's a reflexive verb, that shit's going to be je mette. I like both of those things. It's just not the story that we're telling right now. Off you go.
Okay. So, si je m'entendais bien avec elle.
Good. Take a pause. Now, we could have hypothetically had another sentence, as I was saying to you earlier, and, you know, she was free and you know, when she was out on, you know, she had a bracelet on and, you know, her parole officer let her out, whatever. And, you know, she'd had a fix for the day. I would buy her a coffee. I aim high dating-wise. I would buy her a coffee.
J'achèterais.
Beautiful verb, but where's the I would buy her a coffee?
L'achèterais.
In the sentence, I would buy her a coffee, what is being bought? Her or the coffee?
The coffee.
So therefore, the relationship with the buy is direct to the coffee. Therefore, the relationship with the her, is it direct or indirect?
Indirect.
Lovely jubbly. Therefore, what pronoun do I need to use? Not la, but
Lui.
Spots on. Nice twang, by the way. Nice twang. So, je lui achèterai un café. That's really common. That's really common. I'm going to massage his think Luke shoulders. Je vais lui masser. I'm so in love with someone at the moment. It's just, oh my God. Je vais lui, love, not even lust. Je vais lui masser les épaules, because the thing I'm massaging is the shoulders, not him. You might go, well, Luke, that's kind of part of it. So a nice little trick is if you've got any phraseology where you basically have a human and a non-human in the sentence, for the most part, the human will be the direct. The human will be the indirect and the non-human will be the direct. So lui, I'm going to buy him a drink. Je vais lui acheter quelque chose à boire, whatever. All right. Good. Denise, if I'd gotten on well with him, I'd have bought him a coffee. Let's change it to him, although it's not going to make any difference. If I'd gotten on well with him, I'd have bought him a coffee. As it was, I sent a hired killer.
Si je me serais...
No. Correcting that you're open to the auxiliary, but we started with the word see. So what comes after the see in the hypotheticals, either on the main verb or on the auxiliary, is see the was camp or the would camp after the word see?
The was camp.
How did we remember this with a very complicated method that Lukey came across with last week? What is the second letter of the word see in French? I. What is the first letter of the word imperfect or imparfait in French? I. Yeah, okay. So off you go. If I'd got, but correct being auxiliary, but get it right. Okay. So off he goes. If I'd gotten on well with him.
Si.
Let me give you the other trick that we talked about last week. When you're in the present hypothetical, just say in your own brain quickly in the present. So je m'entends. Therefore, that leaves you in a nice place to go je m'entendais or je m'entendrai. When you're in the past hypothetical, in other words, some shit with the fucking auxiliary, say it in the queen of the auxiliary tenses, which is your first one, which is your poetry past. So if I gave you the verb s'entendre, how would you say it's a poetry past, simple, action, I got on well with him. Je me
suis entendu.
Past tense of entendre, because it's poetry past, entendu.
Past tense entendu.
That's it. Entendu. We can say je me suis bien entendu. You can say that. Now you've got je me suis bien entendu. Notice the adverb after verb number one. Je me suis bien entendu. Could you now modify that shit? You'll find that's an easier leap into what I now need. Yes?
Je me t'ai
No,
bien
but
entendu.
if I'd gotten on well with him, si je
Si je me t'ai bien entendu avec lui.
go again though, I need to ete, not ute.
Si me t'ai bien.
Listen, we ain't doing Spanish. We need a subject. Yeah.
Ah oui. Si je m'étais bien entendu avec lui.
Lovely. Yeah. Lovely. Okay. I'd have bought him a coffee.
Je lui aurais acheté un café.
Gorgeous. Gorgeous. Great. Tia, I got bought a coffee yesterday because the guy was leaving. I'm really pissed off about this. There's this really lovely, he's British, Algerian parents. You have never seen anybody work their hiney off so much. It's just this kid at, like, in UK, when you say college, you generally don't mean university, although people borrow the term a little bit, but generally college would be like 16 to 18. Such a nice kid. So like high school, finally, such a nice kid, works his ass off. Oh my God. And basically this kid had told me, alors I'm going to say this in the blur, so you can just hear the blur. So I get on really, really well with this kid. Alors je m'entends hyper bien avec ce gamin kid. And he's always really polite with me. Alors il est toujours très poli avec moi. And not just for the tip, because we don't automatically have the same tipping culture as in the States everywhere. You don't automatically give a tip. Et pas tout simplement pour le pourboire, parce qu'on n'a pas cette culture en Angleterre. Yes, in classy restaurants, but not always in like a fucking Starbucks. Oui, tu as les restaurants plus classe, mais pas toujours chez Starbucks. And this kid is leaving. Alors ce mec s'en va because 2 weeks, and his customer service is just amazing. He's just so bothered with everybody. Il est hyper impliqué, concerné. Il est super, super sympa. And 2 weeks ago, there's a queue of about 10 people, and he'd worked like from 9 until 8 o'clock at night. He'd done like a double. Alors, il avait travaillé de 9h jusqu'à 21h du soir. So he's a bit knackered. Alors, il était crevé, exhausted, right? Épuisé. And so he'd put 42 into the cash register instead of 2. Alors, il avait demandé 42 au lieu de 2. Au lieu de, instead of. Let's be honest, that's quite expensive. C'est assez cher. He straight away went, oh, I'm so sorry, I've just charged you. And with the contactless payment, avec le paiement sans contact, he was like, oh, I'm so sorry, I've just charged you 42. Alors, je suis désolé, je viens de prendre 42. And the guy went, that's fine. I'm in a bit of a rush, though. Could you give it me back? Ça pose pas de problème, mais je suis un peu pressé. Vous pouvez me le rendre. Rendre, que non, c'est to give back. Vous pouvez me le rendre? And the guy went, right, I'm not authorized to do that on the till. So he handed him £40 in cash out of the till. The till would balance, the cash register would balance. Alors, il lui a donné 40 en espèces. There's a queue of 15 people. Il y avait une queue, a line de 15 personnes. Anyway, the manageress, weirdly, I get on really well with her. She goes to my gym. Alors, bizarrement, je m'entends très bien avec elle. Elle va effectivement au même gymnase que moi, to the same gym as me. But she's a little bit, demanding. Alors, elle est un tout petit peu exigeante. She can't make coffee, by the way. He makes amazing coffee. Elle sait pas. She doesn't know how to make coffee. Elle sait pas faire du café. And long story short, she just went, you should have rung me. And he was like, dude, there's 15 people. What was I going to do? The card payment wasn't working. I wasn't authorized. I'm going to call you at home just for that. The cash register's balanced. Where's the problem? Où est le mal? Où est le mal? Where's the problem? Où est le mal? Où est le problème? And she was just like, no. And he went, do you know what? I put so much love and attention into all of this. I'm just not feeling this. I'm off. I'm sorry. Thank you so very much. But why should I work so hard to be spoken to like this? Alors, il a dit, je suis désolé, mais moi, voilà, c'est fini pour moi. Je travaille comme un dingue. I work like a mad person. I'm off. Je me casse. I'm breaking off. Je m'en vais. So I saw him on his last day and he's like, do you know what? Just to let you know. So I was like, here's my details. If ever you need a reference, let me look for something for you. I mean, fine, he's going to go to college and do shit. But I'm like, damn, there goes my fucking good cup of coffee. So Lukey's not happy. So yes, when people buy me a coffee on the internet, I'm a bit like, Luke, you need a lot of coffees because his coffee's not good now. Yeah. So good. So Tia, say for me, if I gave you the verb s'en aller, what ingredients are in s'en aller? S''E''N aller. Say for me, he's left using that verb. S'en aller, using that verb. Off you go.
Il s'est allé.
Up. Listen to Auntie Lukey. When you have an en that you are adding into a verb, there are 3 types. Version 1, you're using en in a normal verb, like I'm going to buy some. Je vais en acheter. And you are using it as a pronoun. You could have used it. You've chosen to use en on purpose to be some or one. Je vais en acheter une, je vais en acheter un, je vais en acheter whatever. Second time that you use en in a verb, when your verb uses de, yeah, and you use en as your go-to word for it. As I said to Denise earlier, when you have en and e, they are also words for it. You have to use that or some or them or anything if your verb uses en. Third, and that could be a phrasal verb that does that. That could be an ABC that does that. Je vais me souvenir de la situation. Je vais m'en souvenir. Third type of verb that has an en, ladies. One that has an en in it from the fucking beginning. So if you hear the verb to remember, se souvenir de, there is no en. You are adding an en if you didn't remember what. Tabby remembered the bag. Alors, Tabby s'est souvenu du sac. She remembers the bag. Elle se souvient du sac. She remembers it. Elle s'en souvient. But if from the get-go, in your infinitive, there is an en there, it is part of the furniture and it needs to stay. En avoir marre de. What's this? There's an en and a de in the same fucking verb. Oh dear, that doesn't seem to make sense. It's a grammatical oddness, but we allow it in French. So I'm sick of whatever. J'en ai marre de whatever. I'm sick of it, just j'en ai marre. You don't need to add another on because you've already got on anyway. I resent somebody. Je lui en veux. Do you remember earlier we had en vouloir à quelqu'un? So if there's an en in the reflexive, sorry, in the infinitive, let's be very careful. You could form an infinitive with an en, but it wouldn't be the dictionary infinitive. Brie could say, I'm going to buy one. Je vais en acheter. I'm going to remember it. Je vais m'en souvenir. She could give me an infinitive form, grammatically, but it's not the dictionary form. So once again, I'm going to give you the dictionary form. And not being funny, you guys know how to put me, te, se, nous, vous, se with mon, me, ti, si, me, mon, ton. You know how to do this. And you know the pronouns don't go anywhere else. So if I'm giving you s'en aller, what pronouns can you hear, please, Tia? What pronouns, plural, can you hear in the infinitive s'en aller? What pronouns can you hear?
Se.
What pronouns, plural, can you hear in s'en aller? I spelt it for you, S''EN space ALLER. Yeah, what 2 pronouns can you hear there? Okay, Tia, in the verb s'en aller, in the verb s'en aller, what's the verb you can hear? What is the verb in s'en aller?
Aller.
Great. So what's left?
S'en.
Good. And what 2 words is that made up of?
S'en.
What?
En.
Se and en. Yeah, good. All right. So there is not a version of this verb in existence, if you're talking about a he or a she, where you're going to be able to say it without s'en. You're going to have the s'en together, because pronouns stay together. You aren't going to be able to formulate a verb for me with this without s'en being together. Clear? So say for me, he, give me the word he.
Il.
Now give me the pronouns, because that's what you do next, just on their own.
S'en.
S'en. Now I need to put aller into the action past tense. And what's that going to be for a he? Il s'en
est allé.
Do you see how it would work?
Yes.
Tabby, what's the verb to go? One more time, what's the verb to go?
Aller.
What would be in 2 words he was going? Il
était.
Ah,
Il était allé.
Listen to fucking me before I come down and find you. Motherfucker said in 2 words. In 2 words. He was going. In 2 words. He.
Était.
What? Go on.
Il était.
What's the verb to go, my darling girl?
Aller.
Why are we going to the verb to be then? What sound, Tabby, does was end in?
A.
Good, unless it's an E and an E. Go back. What's my verb to go?
Aller.
Good job. Does it already end in an A?
Oui.
Great. So what in 1 word is the verb form I'm going to need of was going? Forget the il. We've already said the il. What in 1 word is the verb form I'm going to need for was going? Il
allait.
That's it. Stop all of you trying to put was into was. There's no need for an extra was. That makes it the had. Was is on the top line. Present, was, will, would. These are verb tenses with no middle word. Il va, il allait, il ira, il irait. So 2 words for me, Tabby. Say for me, he was going. Il
allait.
Good. Now, say for me. No, let's be very clear. S'en aller just means he's getting out of there. It's just a phrasal last verb. He's off. I'm off. Je m'en vais. So take il allait and ram son before the allait. What's it going to give me, Tabby?
Il s'en allait.
Yes. That's it. Now, are we acknowledging, Tabitha, that there are verbs which have an auxiliary and the verbs which don't? Yeah?
Yes.
So to finish, you are going to do the table for me. So say for me, he is going. Plain and simple using aller. Just say for me 2 words, he's going. You've already given me this today. So what's he's going?
Il va.
Spot on. Now give me he's off. He's leaving. Yes, we could say il va.
Il s'en allait. Il s'en allait.
What did you... Look at me.
Il allait.
Interrupt me one more time and I will send one of my killer agents. She's 8 on December the 13th. She has red hair. She's very fucking physically powerful. She will jump at you like Chucky and she will rip out your windpipe. She also calls me, you know, a father figure. So basically, I give you my daughter. But she could kill. She can kill. And she knows she's going to juvie, not going down for it. So she will kill for me. Listen to Lukey. You are going to give me the tense. Say to me, he goes. One more time. Go.
Il va.
Do not change my verb. I like that your mouth likes other tenses, but we ain't on those tenses. Now add for me, he's off. So this is a phrasal verb. If you guys need to think, he himself from there goes, if you need to kind of think of some weird shit, but don't, just put son in before it, S apostrophe E-N. So say for me, he's leaving, he's off. Il s'en
allait.
You are going to place flowers on your grave. You are going to place s'en before the verb that you're already in. You take, listen to the verb, s'en aller. So the aller bit is going to work like normal, and the son bit is going to be added at the beginning. Just S apostrophe E-N, and then whatever you would normally say for aller. So say for me, he goes, one more time.
Il s'en va.
Stay still. Do it properly. Say for me, he goes, he goes, he goes. Plain old he goes, my darling, he goes.
Il va.
Good. Are we clear? We're clear, we're clear.
Oui.
Now do what you've just done, but know your methodology and go in and put the son in front of it. Don't change the go. You were fine as you were. Off you go.
Il s'en va.
Good. Present. Now give me the was. He was going. We're using normal go now. We're not using the phrasal. We're just using in 2 words. He was going. No fancy schmancy just yet. He was going. Off you go.
Il allait.
Good job, you. Separate them. Whack in the pronouns. Give me he was leaving. He was off.
Il s'en allait. S'en allait.
Go again cleanly, because all this should be, Tabby, is a question of you saying il allait and whacking son in the middle. So let me hear it.
Il s'en allait.
Gorgeous girl, you've got it now. Now go over to the future. He will go. Normal go, still for the moment. Normal go. Verb to go, aller. Do we remember? Do we remember? Do we remember? Do we remember? The other ear would be better. Do we remember the irregular? The irregular for he will go. The irregular for he will go. Can you see what body part I'm getting out? If you get this wrong, I will get another body part out. So say, what is he will go?
Il ira.
Lovely. Now using the phrasal verb, he will be out of there. He'll be off. Whatever you want to say. He'll do one. Add the pronouns that we've discussed between il and ira. What would it be?
Il s'en ira.
You've got it, my darling. Now go to he would go. What ending do we need for he would go? Give me irait. Now give me he would be off.
Il s'en irait.
You've got it. That's how phrasal verbs work. That's how these work. Now go to before going, which is going to be the form that's going to be, well, actually, no, I apologize. You've got the subjunctive. So what is the subjunctive for go? This is the last shit we're doing today, guys. As soon as we're done with Tabby, we're done. What's the subjunctive for go?
Ear.
What is,
No.
does this look like a fucking ear to you? What body part am I?
I.
Thank you. It doesn't look like my old eyes 3 years ago, but whatever, they barely function. April 2020, if you want to see when I was given that shit by the dickhead known as Dr. Chung, watch the videos up until April 2020, and then you watch the rot start to happen. It's like, holy shit, 15 years aging in 4 fucking weeks. But this is an I. This is an I. So the subjunctive of go, A-I-double-L-E, is go. So say for me, he goes, subjunctive, il aille.
Il aille.
Let's just say, il est intéressant. It's interesting that, yeah? You know, je suis content. I'm happy that. Now, what would be il aille with the pronoun in the middle of it? Il
s'en aille.
Il s'en aille. So I'm happy he's leaving. Je suis content qu'il s'en aille. What would be before going? Remember, when it's the same person, you use avant de plus infinitive. Before going, no son yet, just before going. Avant
de.
Lovely, plus the verb to go in the infinitive. Avant
d'aller.
Place your pronoun before the infinitive, because bits before verbs and then an infinitive. So avant, that's it. So avant de. Let's just make that clear, Tabby. Bits before verbs, except before. Will you listen to Lukey? Bits before verbs, except before infinitive. You've got 2 words before there, yeah? So avant de.
Avant d'aller.
Where's my pronouns that we're discussing? And it wouldn't be avant d'aller, and it would be avant d'aller. Where's the pronouns now? Stick the pronouns in. Avant de
s'en aller.
Bottom line now. So our basic bitch for go is gonna have an auxiliary now, yes? But that don't bother us, does it? No, no, no. That does not bother us one bit, because we are going to put the fucking pronouns where they go, which is straight a fucking way. So could you now, as an action, so you might like to say, right, we're now on the bottom line. So it's present, was, will, would, on the middle. So I'm now looking for tense, Tabby, where I've got the present tense, this time on the fucking auxiliary. So the word in the middle is the present, but the whole thing is in the I don't like the word, but the past. So could you basically say to me, he went, in 3 words, Tabby?
Il est allé.
Lovely. Some speakers would say il est allé. Some people would say il est allé. Could you now place son where it needs to go with il est allé?
Il est s'en allé.
Excuse me, I warned you, I told you, bits, you don't listen. Bits before verbs, except before an infinitive. Is there an infinitive in il est allé? No. So you put all pronouns before all the verbs. Both verbs. That includes, think about it, Tabby. How do you say he ate? In 3 words, how do you say he ate, Tabby?
Il a mangé.
He has eaten.
Il a mangé.
Good. Say for me, he ate it.
Il a mangé.
Lovely. You knew with your mouth to go il l'a mangé. So you know that pronouns go right at the beginning. So we've got il est allé or est allé. Stick son in the middle. Say for me, he did one. He left.
Ils sont allés.
Il est allé. Just put son in the middle. Ils sont
allés.
good. Ils sont allés or ils sont allés. He left. Next tense, we're going to he had gone. Had in the middle in English, was in the middle in French. Present in the middle, was in the middle. So il est allé is now going to become what he had gone. Il
avait. Allé.
Look at me. Correct tense, wrong verb. We're in the verb to be. Il est allé. What's that going to become? Il est. Verb to be.
Il était allé.
Good girl. Now put son and give me he had gotten out of there. Put son back where it goes. Ils sont
allés.
Stop visualizing it and give me the sounds. Say for me, il était allé. Separate, just go. Il était allé.
Il était allé.
The more you try and speak crisply, Tabby, you're going to get caught up in the consonants. Focus on the vowel. Now stick son as a sound, not as words. Don't think of the words. Stick son before était allé and put that together for me.
Ils sont été allés.
Did you hear how fucking smooth that was? That was like silk. Stop reading and stop. Good. He, 2 more, 3 more, you're done. This model is basically just how any phrasal verb works. Yeah? It's that shit plus the verb, that shit plus auxiliary plus the verb. Finish me off. He will have gone. So il, what do we know about the auxiliary tenses? Il and allé is the same with everybody. So we just changed the verb in the middle. So il est allé, il était allé, and now need the he will have gone. We're still just using plain allé at the moment. So he will have gone. The future plus.
The future. Il serait. No.
Well, il
sera allé.
Good job. Good job. Sir is the future of be. Sor is the future of no. Serre is to squeeze. All right. So you've got il sera allé. He will have gone. He will have cleared off. He will have left. Now just make it the phrasal version. There's not a massive difference between the normal version here and the phrasal version. Let me tell you one little thing before you carry on, guys. Why do we do this? You can't say I'm going, je vais. You can't say I'm going, je vais. You can either say j'y vais, I'm going there, or je pars, je me casse, je m'en vais. So one of the reasons this verb is used is you can't just say I'm going, right, loads of love, I'm going, je vais. You need je m'en vais, je m'en allais, you need them on, right? That's one of the reasons this exists, okay? But it's also demonstrative of taking a template and fucking putting the pronouns in the right place. So that Lukey, oh, good God, doesn't have to work this hard. I'll do this shit once, I won't do it again. We ain't going through this crap again. So up you go. So il sera allé. Could you now put son in the right place? So il sera allé. Off you go. Il
son sera allé.
Look at it flying out of your damn mouth. Well done. One more. He would have left. Jesus, if I'd have dropped my trousers in front of him, he would have left.
Il sera.
I've told you I don't like repeating my corrections. What vowel did I tell you the verb to be would be in the future? I did tell you.
Sorry.
No. Fall out of love with fucking consonants. Listen to me. I don't like repeating myself. It's not fair. Or I just double the invoicing. Sur for be in the future. Sor for no in the future. Serre for squeeze in the future. Which one was it for be? Sur. Yeah? You've all got concepts like que sera, sera, and all this shit like no, whatever, there's an Italian sarà, there's a Spanish será, there's other versions of the same, exactly the same future. So, okay, so he will have left. Ils sont, give me the he would have left. Doing the phrasal version now with S apostrophe N. Off you go. Ils sont
sera.
Would. Ils sont seraient allés.
Ils s'en seraient allés.
Good. Finally, Tabby, what is the subjunctive of the verb to be? Sw-
Uh,
sw-
soit.
Yes. It don't change the order. Il allait.
Ils soient allés.
There you go, my love. Now put son. So I am happy that he fucked off, or that he left, that he went. Je suis content qu'il
Je suis content qu'ils soient allés.
Lovely. Final version, when you do infinitives with the same person, calling all cars with the same person. Yeah, it would have to be the same person that's doing the other bit. As in, before leaving, Bree said goodbye to whatever, everybody, and whatever, you know, helped herself to some cake from the birthday party, whatever. So the before is with the infinitive is on the top line is avant de. We use the after. Now, if you don't quite understand what happens when we get to the infinitive, watch my video on using the infinitive properly. This is a practice method. Yeah, you could have any number of grammatical constructions that would give you an infinitive and an infinitive with an auxiliary. That's what we're on about here. We're on about using an infinitive as opposed to an infinitive on the auxiliary. Like, because that's what the bottom line is, isn't it? For example, I'm happy to go out. Je suis content de sortir. I'm happy that I went out. Je suis content d'être sorti, using être in the middle. You know, that's what we're on about. But we practice it with après, avoir, après être. So in other words, this one would be, but you've not done this with me yet, Tabitha, so you're not expected to know it, would be après s'en être allé, after getting out of there, après s'en être allé. All right? So we have, il s'en va, il s'en allait, il s'en ira, il s'en irait, il est intéressant qu'il s'en aille, avant de s'en aller, il s'en est allé, il s'en était allé, il s'en sera allé, il s'en serait allé, il est intéressant qu'il s'en soit allé, avant, bottom line, après s'en être allé. Any phrasal verb we could do that with. Je lui en veux. I resent him. Je lui en. Lui en. What's the pronouns, Denise? I can hear in the middle of je lui en. What pronouns can I hear straight away?
Lui en.
Lui en. It ain't gonna fucking go anywhere. Je lui en veux. Je lui en voulais. Je lui en voudrais. Je lui en voudrais. It sounds the same because it's a je. Il est intéressant. It's weird. I resent him because he's normally a nice person. Il est intéressant que je lui en veuille avant de lui en vouloir. Back bottom row. Je lui en ai voulu. Je lui en avais voulu. Je lui en aurais voulu. Do you get it? The only time you will do anything fucking different is when you have an infinitive at the end of the sentence. Like, I'm going to try to resent it. No. I'm going to try to not resent him. Je vais essayer de ne pas lui en vouloir. That's the only time that you put lui en all the way away from it. From the other five, je lui en, 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 je lui en. Do you see how phrasal verb works? So when you get given a phrasal verb, which nobody teaches, people are like, yeah, whatever, fuck it. Just go and use like normal stuff. That is it. He's out of it. Il se casse. Oh, easy, just a reflexive. Il se casse. Il se casse. Il se cassera. Whatever, same thing. He's getting assy with me about it. Il s'en prend à moi. Susan, what pronouns again? No, let's change it. You're getting assy with me about it. Tu t'en prends à moi. What pronouns, Susan, can you hear in tu t'en prends à moi?
No, moi, sorry.
That's the object pronoun at the end, you're right. But with the verb, so tu t'en prends à moi. So this is what we do. In these verbs, and if you crack this shit, you've literally up into fucking A-level and degree level French and straight away, because it's really, really, really good to get this and just keep playing with it amongst other learning, because people never get this stuff. And it's so stupid because it's the main thing that you say in French. Like in English, we just use phrasal verbs. She's doing my head in, she's just gotten here, rather than she's arrived. She's annoying. We don't speak like this. So Susan, in tu t'en prends à moi, what verb can you hear there?
Comprends.
Tu t'en prends on its own. Tu t'en prend. So
Oh, on
start.
prend. Oui, prend.
That's it. So the trick is, you'll notice that in all of these phrasal style verbs, the verb's fucking piece of piss normal verb. Prendre, sortir, I'm getting myself out of it. Je m'en sors. Brie, in the verb, I'm getting myself out of it. Are you right? You right, Brie? You all good? Yeah, I'm managing. It's cool. I've got the work done. Je m'en sors. What verb can you hear there, Brie?
Sort.
Sors. Which is from which infinitive?
Sortir.
So it's a normal verb. It's nothing particularly special. That's why you've got a black dress. It's nice. It fits in all the right places. You can dress that shit up because it's a plain ass dress. If it was some super ass pattern thing, you don't really want to be coming in with the earrings and the bracelet and everything else, do you? It'd be a bit, ooh, okay. It's the same thing. It's because it's a simple verb. The same as in English. Get on, get across, get down, get over, to get over somebody, or not, choose not to. Get by. Do you notice that phrasal style verbs, it's normal verbing, isn't it? Just with one other little or two other little ingredients. The same in French. So all I'm saying is, when you practice them, lui on, 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 right next to it, and then your verbs. Is that pattern sort of gone in a little bit? Yes? Good. Right. Well done. Brendan did miss a good one, didn't he? My God. So make sure you've watched the video on passives for next week. Yeah, okay. I will ping it underneath this if people can't find it when I stick this online. Good. All right. Well done. And Mark, thank you for inspiring us for such a lovely class. Good. Susan, go and spank the ass of whoever made the noise at the beginning, and not in a way that they'll enjoy. And I will speak to you all soon. Loads and loads of love. Well done. If you have been watching this video and you're not part of the group, can I remind you there is a Kofi link underneath? Yeah, this shit runs on caffeine, as you can probably see. So basically, yeah, a Kofi link would be appreciated. Any of the grammar we are talking about, particularly with the conjugation of phrasal verbs and the conjugation of present was, will, would, yada, 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 and the same on the bottom. The conjugation of all the different tenses is available in the podcasts. So if you'd be interested in those, do please let me know. Good. Lovely, 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 lovely. Loads of love. Well done, everybody. Take care.
Merci.